NSAs from many nations convene in Davos to deliberate a solution to the conflict in Ukraine. By organizing the meeting, Switzerland continues to support Ukraine in achieving this goal, stated a spokeswoman from the Swiss Foreign Ministry, which co-hosted the meeting with Ukraine. Several countries' national security advisors gathered here on Sunday to brainstorm a solution to the crisis in war-torn Ukraine. Among those nations, India is among the most vocal in its calls for an end to the violence. With the organization of the summit, Switzerland maintains its support for Ukraine as it works towards this objective, according to a spokesperson from the Swiss Foreign Ministry, which was one of the meeting's co-hosts with Ukraine. Get on board with our WhatsApp channel by clicking here. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky suggested a peace formula in 2022 that adheres to 10 criteria to guarantee a fair and long-lasting peace in Ukraine. This was the fourth NSA discussion on the subject. Copenhagen, Jeddah, and Malta were the locations of previous gatherings. India has long advocated for a peaceful resolution in Ukraine, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi made it clear during his meeting with Zelensky that his country is prepared to lend a hand in any way it can. Modi has also stated that there is no need to worry about a war while speaking with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Official confirmation is lacking, but rumors have it that India's delegate at the Davos meeting renewed calls for a speedy end to hostilities. The meeting was co-chaired by Swiss Federal Councillor Ignacio Cassis and Andriy Yermak, head of the Office of the President of Ukraine. According to Yermak, 81 countries and international organizations were represented. The summit, according to the Swiss Foreign Ministry, is to wrap up discussions among national security experts on the ground rules for a fair and durable peace in Ukraine. The next steps in the peace process should be based on these concepts. It went on to say that the Davos summit was a major step in the right direction for Switzerland. Food security and humanitarian considerations were other topics of panel discussions at the fourth NSA meeting. Over 2,800 world leaders, including roughly 60 heads of state and government, will be attending the 5-day World Economic Forum annual gathering here, which began the day before the gathering. An interesting piece of news has emerged from Russia this week involving a former Toronto Maple Leafs and Marlies player. Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, is involved, which might be the most shocking aspect of this story. Reuters reports that Brendan Leipsic, a former player for the Toronto Maple Leafs, requested Russian citizenship from Putin in a letter he sent in July 2023. Famous people and sportsmen often contact Russia's president to inquire for this status. Actors Gerard Depardieu and Steven Seagal had previously made and received the same request. Heavyweight fighter Kevin Johnson was among those who approached Putin in September about becoming a Russian citizen. A decree announcing Johnson and Leipzig's citizenship was released on Tuesday by a Russian official website. In 2012, the Nashville Predators selected Leipzig in the third round of the draft. His overall finish was 89th. After being traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs in February 2015, he never got the chance to play for the Predators. In exchange for defender Cody Franson and center Mike Santorelli, the Leafs received the left winger, center Olli Jokinen, and a first-round draft choice in 2015. Leipzig was traded from the Milwaukee Admirals to the AHL Marlies, as reported by Elite Prospects. Between the two teams, he appeared in 74 games, scoring 14 goals and assisting on 40. In 65 games the following season with the Marlies, he was able to achieve 54 points once again. The native of Winnipeg, Manitoba, made his NHL debut that same season, playing in 6 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He had 2 assists and scored once. Leipzig departed Toronto the following season. Although he appeared in 49 games for the Marlies, he was cut from his roster by the Leafs. He had 51 points, 18 goals, 33 assists, while serving as the team's assistant captain. Leipzig was a mainstay in the National Hockey League for 3 years after leaving the Marlies. During that period, he was a member of 4 different teams: the Washington Capitals, the Vancouver Canucks, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Vegas Gold Knights. It was a messy breakup when Leipzig left the NHL. His sexist statements from a private group discussion surfaced when they were leaked on social media. Leipzig made a public apology before the Capitals placed him on unconditional waivers to terminate his contract.